guys, so today I have a guest with me, my new hair, and this guy. This is my roommate Andy. I think Leslie, you know him. But the other night I had an idea where I would bring him the title of a book and he would tell me the plot when he doesn't know anything about it.
Making up a plot as I go.
Based solely on the title and no other knowledge of the book. The first book is Dry by Augustin Burroughs.
Obviously, you can see by the martini fish on the cover that it's about a dry martini. And it's about an anchovy, because that's what it looks like. It looks like an anchovy to me. It's about an anchovy trying to get a dry martini. And you may not know this, but it's from this book that the phrase, "who do I have to blank to get a drink around here," comes from, because it's an anchovy. You could say it's a comedy book. It's a book that's kind of funny, because, I mean, anchovies, do they really drink? But they do. But I'd say
like
it's more...
fish?
It's more of a memoir of a anchovy and his plight with the world in general. It's signified by him being at a bar trying to get a drink.
Right. So what Dry is really about, it's by Augustin Burroughs. It is a memoir, but it's about a alcoholic autobiography. Alright, the next one is 13 Reasons Why. Go! Alright.
Or if you let me look at the front. What's going on?
What's going on?
13 reasons why you should swing. And let me tell you something, people. Spoiler alert, all of them are because it's fun.
Nice. Alright, so 13 Reasons Why is really about a girl who commits suicide, and then every person, like, she has 13 reasons why she committed suicide, and each of them is a event that is connected to a person. So each person that's connected to an event, she leaves a tape on their doorstep, and this is told from the point of view of the guy who really liked her. He gets one of the tapes, so he has to try to figure out how he fits into why she committed suicide. The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks.
The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks is about a wedding of Swan. You see, Swan mate for life.
Dude, wait, stop. You ever heard that phrase, "don't judge a book by its cover"?
You often see Swan when they're like doing their little peck kiss, because swans do that. They kiss. They peck you.
Science.
But it makes a heart. You see, like, two swan heads about Swan and their love for each other, and they end up having little swanlings, or ugly ducklings, if you will, which is weird because swans and ducks are two different things.
Alright. It's about, if you're in the Notebook, it's about the daughter of one of them, and it's from the point of view of her husband, and he's trying to win her back because he was a shitty husband. Speak.
It's about talking to plants and how when you communicate with plants, it can help them grow.
Come on.
What?
That could have been way better.
What do you mean?
I think, like, if I look at that, I think it's like about a girl who can, like, who has a power that she can, like, speak to plants.
That's stupid.
Or that there's a soul inside plants.
What is she, Eliza Thornberry with plants?
Yeah. Oh, it's better than what? What were you saying?
Let me finish. It's about speaking to plants and how speaking to plants can help them grow. Except in Speak, because of this weird little horror-esque cover. It's about when speaking to plants.
How's it a horror-esque cover?
Because it looks scary. Who gets all
horror?
Yeah, that's why I said horror. It's about when speaking to plants goes awry. And one chick, I assume the person on the cover, let's call her Natalie. When Natalie has to escape from a terrarium, that's not right. Is that right? No.
Arboretum.
Isn't that for birds?
No,
That's an atrium.
I think arboretum.
When she has to escape from a greenhouse of horror.
Speak is really about a girl who gets raped at a party. And then she spends the next year when she's in school, like, not talking to anyone and being quiet. And she loses, like, all her friends and stuff. It's a really good book, though.
I bet. It must have been great. It left a really good...
It left me speechless.
I picked a book.
Andy picked a book off the shelf of mine.
To
And
make up.
oh, we should do this with me! Off your things!
Yeah. I thought that was going to be the end, like you'd pick.
Oh, no. That's a twist. Andy picked a book.
I did. The book I picked is Ariel. Obviously, you can tell by the red font that it's about the Little Mermaid. It's a pseudo mix of the original where she kills herself and the Disney where she doesn't. And in this, the prince decides to go off and sail. As a matter of fact, he's going to go to a wedding in a faraway country, possibly frozen. But his ship meets a terrible tide, and he goes down with his ship. And so it's about
Can't
Ariel trying to live as a princess, but she's not really a princess, but she actually was a princess. She was a fish princess. And so it's sort of like that juxtaposition of her coming above the ocean to live in the human world, and then that world closing up on her like a clam. She's the pearl.
It's a collection of poems by Sylvia Plath. Gingerbread.
I don't even have to look at that book because it's obvious that it's about the gingerbread man. If you all will humor me for a moment, the story of the gingerbread man being able to run from the baker. He eventually meets a fox, tries to swim across with the fox because gingerbread men can't swim, and the fox ends up eating him. Well, this is a fanfic if somebody had come by and saved the gingerbread man before the fox could get him. It's about their life together.
It's about a girl who goes to, she's a rebellious chick, and she goes to visit her dad for the summer in New York, and I don't think she ever really met her dad before. It's one of my favorite books, though. It's a lot more interesting sauce. Alright. Julia's Chocolates!
Is this the last one?
This is the last one for me.
This is the last one. Julia's Chocolates is about taking a bite out of crime.
You said take a bite because of what it says right there.
It's about a scarf hanging from a tree.
That's not a scarf.
And the name of the scarf is Julia because the person that owns the scarf is a lonely little old lady whose last name is Chocolates. And so Julia's Chocolates is Julia, the scarf, and her owner, Chocolate. And it's about her taking a bite of a crime. When Miss Chocolate had to give up her life of crime fighting to pursue after her scarf Julia, which she lost one day during a case, she has to revisit in her mind where her and Julia have been and what they've done together. And Julia, then of course it's from the perspective of Julia hanging in the tree. And they have this long time apart, remembering how much they mean to each other before Miss Chocolate finally gives up, goes home. Is sentient? Yes. Gives up, goes home, like that dog. Gives up, goes home, and finds out that Julia has actually been hanging in the tree in her front yard the whole time. Warming reunion. Julia gets wrapped around Miss Chocolate's neck, as a scarf do, and then they go inside.
Julia's Chocolates is about a chick, like a kind of plus-sized chick, who was in an abusive relationship, and she was engaged, and she runs out on her wedding to go to her grandmother's, like,
and eat chocolate.
Our aunt's small farm. It's like kooky.
Is it a chocolate farm?
No, she starts making chocolate as like for a living. Alright, so now Andy's gonna have some books from his collection for me to do the same thing. Just hear the title and then just freeball it.
Yup.
Alright.
Alright, first, Intensity.
You gave me like blatantly like naked covers.
The only other thing I have is like sequels. Anyway.
Maybe all you have sequels.
Well, I have the Dark Tower series.
Okay. Intensity is about a psychic. Don't! And the reason she has her power of being psychic is she calls it intensity. So when she looks at people, she gets an intensity from them instead, and she solves freaking crimes with her intensity ability. And this book is intense. That's all we have.
Well, she was right. It is intense. However, it's not about a psychic. It's about a woman who goes to visit her friend.
It's a woman? I got the gender right?
It's about a woman who goes to visit her friend in the Napa Valley, and then somebody breaks into her friend's house, kills her family, rapes her friend, and then kidnaps and rapes her, like, twice. Next one, Evil Genius.
It's about, there's this science facility where they raise, like, little babies as science experiments, and some of them, they intentionally create evil genius babies that when they grow up, they set them loose in the world, and then, like, sleeper agents, they, like, activate them. And then they do this because they want to start, like, a war, and that way, like, every time there's, like, wars throughout history, that's right after there's, like, a really prosperous time. And so they're like, they want to start a new world war when things get going to shit. So they wake up their evil genius babies. And then this person, like, grows up. I don't know who the main character is.
The main character grows up.
Main character grows up and is slowly realizing that they're an evil genius sleeper baby. Grown person. Adult. And then they, like, start rebelling, and then they try to stop the impending world war from happening once they realize what's going on.
It has been a very long time since I've read this, so I'm going almost entirely off of memory. But you were pretty close.
Really?
It's not about sleeper cells. It's about a man who founds an evil institute, the Access Institute, to help raise the son of his former partner to become an evil genius. I mean, there's other kids in this place. It's almost like...
I was kind of right!
It's almost like X-Men, only instead of
Evil
superpowers,
orphanage.
it's evil kids. Some of them do have powers, I think. Well, I think like the main character's best friend is like...
I'm so good!
Near the end, the kid has a change of heart, and
Hey!
yeah, he ends up having a change of heart because he falls in love with a girl that has Down syndrome. And so it's about him trying to get closer to her and do the right thing.
Aw, so that was that. If you want to see this again, let us know. Hope you guys liked it. If you have any titles on your bookshelf that you like want to show me, and then I'll send you a review back. That'd be fun to do. So yeah, hope you liked the special guest Andy. And yeah, I love you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. That's perfect. Serial killer-esque.
What?
Do you do that when you're nervous? Oh, the kitty!
I'm doing it Do it with my hands right.
Hello. This is going.
Swan. That's why Swan are used to.
Excuse me.